Good evening, this is Eswatini TV News at 8, read to you by myself, Nathalie Sitole, alongside Zamanzi Manze. First up, let's have a look at our top stories.
In commemoration of the International Mother Tongue Day, the Deputy Prime Minister says the Eswatini language should be preserved at all costs. The World Bank project has donated 5 double cabs and 2 trucks to the Ministry of Health. Young people whose applications did not meet the required standard of Cycle 8 of the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund are undergoing training on drafting business plans.
And now the news in detail. The Eswatini National Language Board, together with different stakeholders, commemorated the International Mother Language Day at Happy Valley Hotel in Eswatini. Speaking during the event, the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the Eswatini language should be preserved at all costs, and government will continue to ensure this happens through implementing different initiatives.
Eswatini has joined the world in commemorating the International Mother Language Day, which is held on the 21st of February every year. The theme of this year's event was mainly on how the indigenous languages can be preserved in the era of digital technology. Speaking during the event held at Happy Valley Hotel at Eswatini, the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says preserving the Eswatini language is important. The Deputy Prime Minister says through different initiatives like establishing the Eswatini National Language Board shows the commitment to ensure the language does not go extinct.
Kululonza nekulivikela lokhu kwentwa ukuthi sive labanenge bathi bangafunza isingisi lesincane bese balibukela phansi lolwimi uve nje asasukele umuntu angasalubuki angasalukhuluma angasacethe ngisho umusho ngesiswati umva sathi and then like that lolwimi lubulawa ngithi kulubukela phansi lukhulu kakhulu lolwimi sive satiwa nelulwimi lwaso uma kulahleke lolwimi kusho ukuthi nebuve buyahlukumedeka kuleso sikhathi.
Phumzile Hlophe, the Secretary General of the Eswatini National Commission for UNESCO, represented the Director General Audrey in the event. She says the internet poses a risk of linguistic uniformization, so it is important to design digital tools and supporting media for indigenous languages so that people can discover other languages without giving up their mother tongue.
lesingatisebentisa kuvikela kusebentisa kwetfu tilimi tetfu ngekwehlukana. Letindlela leti nasingatanzisa sitihlatiye tingasisita kugcina kanye nekonga tilwimi lokhandza kutsi ngalesinye sikhatsi sitisebentisa nasikhuluma kuphela. Ngalamafisha letindlela tingenta tilwimi lesitikhulumako tibe lifa letfu lesilihlanganyelako.
The Deputy Prime Minister urges the Eswatini National Language Board to have the celebrations in chiefdoms next year, as chiefs are rich in culture. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla with Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Zulwini.
The Ministry of Health has received 5 double cabs and 2 trucks from the World Bank project. The Minister of Health says these cost over 8 million emalangeni and will come a long way in improving the health sector.
The government of the Kingdom of Eswatini, through the Ministry of Health, is implementing a health system strengthening for human capital development project. This project started in December 2020, and the project is funded through the World Bank, and it is expected to end in the year 2025. The Minister of Health elaborates.
Kuleti moto sibuka ke njengoba sishito sibuka nakulo singema non-communicable diseases. Kuneti moto ke letintsathu ngama double cabs etawusebenza lo msebenzi dihambise lo msebenzi emakhaya. Kuthi la ka environmental health kuba ne tracking lekhona kudronsa lama skips bese kuba nema skips lang 7 lathengwe ngile program. loko kutasisita ukuthi tibi tetibhedlela imilotsana sicedza kushisa sitawukhona ukuthi sitibuthele kukhona ke lesikubita nge-medicines regulatory unit lokusho ukuthi naba labasivukela imithi bona ke batathola yinye i-double cap batokhona kwenta umsebenzi wabo. I-central medical stores lekungiyona yona la sibeka khona imithi bese siyayihambisa itawuthola ama-truck lamabili laba ke lasebenta le program ke manje ukuze bakhone kuhamba bayohlola lapho kusetshenzwa ngakhona bataba ne-double cap yinye letabasita ukuthi bakhone kumonitor nekuhlola nekusupporta lo msebenzi lapha uhamba ngakhona ngokutahamba even lonke.
Office Bank project nokunceda amazibuko hopes with the motor vehicles the Ministry of Health will execute its operations smoothly.
Today we are handing over vehicles to a number of programs that we are working with in aim to enhance and to make sure that they are able to do their work efficiently. So we believe that as part of health system strengthening, we'll be able to achieve our objectives by ensuring that the health system is enhanced. So these cars will be given to Ministry of Health, and we are hoping that they'll be able to yield positive results in their work.
The focus of the project is to strengthen and ramp up investments in reproductive, maternal, newborn, child, adolescents' health, nutrition, and non-communicable diseases, services to address critical human capital challenges, including stunting and child and adult mortality, are playing a life course approach. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla Mbabane.
The Minister of Education and Training encourages 676 Limpopo University of Creative Technology graduating class of 2021 to have courage and conviction to take paths less traveled. The Minister of Education, Lady Howard, was represented by the Minister of Youth, Harris Bulunga, during the graduation ceremony.
This was Limpopo University of Creative Technology 10th graduation in the country. The Minister of Education and Training, Lady Howard, applauded the students, saying this the Minister of Youth, Harris Bulunga.
We must first ensure that the programs and qualifications on offer are firstly responsive and secondly of very high quality both in policy as well as institutional implementation. We also need to guard against providing education and training that is so narrow that it restricts graduates to high jobs, to avoid denying them lateral and upward mobility in the workplace.
Limpopo Eswatini Campus Director Tobile Kumet challenges the graduates to go out and create history.
During this time of COVID-19, you have learned to adjust and adapt to rapid changes while keeping your goals in focus. Hard as it may have been, the lessons that you have learned along the way will always be cherished by yourselves and will always be a reminder for you to remain focused on the goal to succeed in any endeavor.
Student representative is Trina Madonsela.
The support we received had an even greater impact because we chose to put in the hard work, which has resulted in our graduation today.
The ceremony was attended by 50 students who excelled in their faculties, and one of them is employee Oscar Dlamini, who was studying information technology. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla. Some visuals are sourced from Limpopo University of Creative Technology.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, has tabled the trading licenses order bill in the House of Senate. The minister says the bill hopes to ease the doing of business in the country.
When tabling the trading licenses order amendment bill, the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, said the bill, among other things, hopes to lift frustration which comes with advertising and attending hearings before anyone is granted a license.
Kunetinfo letikhona lapha lesesibuka ukuthi vele awusetiyasibambelela silive kulokufuna ukuthi si-improve ku-ease of doing business. Lokufaka ekhathi lesidingo sek-advertise uma ngabe nje ufuna kuqala ibhizinisi yakho bese mhlambe futhi bayakubita ukuthi kube nama-hearing lesinye isikhathi ukhanze ukuthi kuthatha isikhathi lesiningi Objects ke ale bill lesikhuluma ngayo ngilokuthi si remove noma sisuse lesidingo se advertiser siphinde sisuse lesidingo se hearing kepha ke bese sibuka lokuthi kuze ukuthi singakhothati ukuthi abantu bangalandeli umthetho sikwede ukuthi uma ngabe umuntu sekukhanzakala ukuthi sowugangile lo mthetho angawulandzeli mhlawumbe lo Swati lesimshaya ngalo bese liyagcina.
Senators also debated the bill, with some applauding the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade for coming up with new ways that will ease the doing of business in the country.
Regulator, but since the regulator, kutawuhamba kanjani energy regulator will leave ekuthenini ngoba nakhona nafuna kwenza leyo business ufuna ukuthi uapply ku-regulator bese bangi-regulator futhi lo advertiser
ingabe lemakhaya ke khona ke ngameli sibuke lo ukuthi utawusebenza njani lokukhulu ukuthi tisheshe letinto mengameli
nakuhlola nje ukuthi ngabe indvuna yengosi basibukele indaba ukuthi lo muntu baqalwa ahlolwe lela qhamuka khona athi i-impact yakhe on the environment iba njani leyo business yakhe ngoba ingakhicita tikhiqito letinhle kodwa kwanza ukuthi le effluent yami yimbi ingoti kuleyo ndzawo lengikuyo uthi lo ayinibona.
Minister funa sitshele ukuthi nakakhipha ku-advertise sekutawuvakala ngani ukuthi lo muntu lo funa kwenta ukuthi asibekele kahle lo bese sekuphindela ngandase ukuthi kutawuyekelwa nalokukhulunyiswa nalapho ngicela ukuthi minister sichacisele.
Minister Khumalo moved that the bill should be referred to the Ministry's Portfolio Committee in Senate. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Muzi Mkhonta, Parliament.
25 young people whose applications did not meet the required standard of Cycle 8 of the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund are being trained on the proper way of writing business plans in a workshop held at Thokoza in Babane. Speaking at the official opening, the fund's Chief Executive Officer, Begize Mazia, says they are doing the training with the University of Eswatini, further urging the participants to grab the opportunity with both hands.
25 young people whose applications did not receive funding from the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund's Cycle 8 have been given a second chance to perfect their proposals. The fund, together with the University of Eswatini Commerce Department, is training them on the proper way of writing business plans. The fund's Chief Executive Officer, Begizwe Mazia, says knowing how to write a business plan is a major achievement for the youth.
To you young people, I wish to say, please take this opportunity very seriously, as it is a rare opportunity. The Youth Fund is concerned about the high failure rate by young applicants to access funding, which was designed to assist all youth of Eswatini. The current statistics indicate that an average of 20% success rate of loan applicants do make it into the card. One of the causes for the low success rate is the poor business plans presented by our applicants. While some of the ideas are found of sound and of good potential, they are often not well planned and packaged. It is for this reason that as a fund, together with the University of Eswatini, we partnered to develop this program and train those applicants on how to better develop the business plans.
Dr. Pindile Dlamini from the University of Eswatini says they are ready to help entrepreneurs in the country.
The Faculty of Commerce has a special center called the Entrepreneurship and Business Development Center, which is actually which intends or has been instituted to try and bridge academic courses with practical experience in entrepreneurship. So this is one of the ways in which we are attempting to to actually do that. And the Youth Fund has given us that opportunity to actually extend ourselves into the community of Swaziland by way of sharing the knowledge, the academic knowledge that we have and the skills that, the academic skills that we have.
The Chief Executive Officer urges the youth to follow through with resubmitting their proposals after the training. He expressed disappointment with last year's group of 30, where only one resubmitted the application. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ngamandla with Vuminkosi Nzinisa Mbabane.
The Republic of China and Taiwan is training agriculture officers on preserving indigenous vegetables under the Taiwan Africa Vegetables Initiative at Sibain Lodge in Matapa. The project manager Temgosi Kumete says this will help them fully understand the preservation process better as well as harvesting the seeds.
The Taiwan Africa Vegetable Initiative aims to help countries preserve indigenous vegetables how they can be preserved. The manager, Tembinkosi Gumeze, says gaining knowledge on what processes are expected when preserving the indigenous vegetables will help them provide diversity at the gene bank in Malkens. He continues to say this project is important because industrialization can lead to indigenous vegetables being wiped out, further saying this initiative is really needed at this time.
Capacitated noma ngalo thavi sitaba abantu laba tawukhona ukuthi nisambe sithi fune la ikakhulu etigangeni lapho titfolakala khona kungumanje ngoba sisede letiningi takhona sengakabi letilondolokekile egene bank yethu eMalkens. So ku train wala sitawu bese sinasibuyela le kuma communities ethu si ti 70 tahulumeni nema organization lamanye lafana nema NGOs sisite ekutheni sisite uhulumeni noma ke litiko ekutheni sithi bone ukuthi tikuphi lapho sihlangana nato emasimini noma etigangeni sibone lobumcoka ukuthi tilondoloteke sithi thathe sithi mix egene bank ungagcini lapho nanathi sishumayele kona lokuthi sifuna kulondvolota tingasilahlekele ngoba silive siyabona ukuthi kunengilokwentaka kweveni kutinzawo lapho betimila khona masimu la betikhona khona magusha bo timbuya la betholakala khona iyashintsha kuba tinzawo tetindlu kuba nentuthuko.
Gumete says the ministry will make sure that it preserves the indigenous vegetables at the gene bank. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ngamandla with Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Matapa.
And now we'll have a look at our financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Good evening once again. You are still watching Eswatini TV. Let's have a look at our sports news. Eswatini Tennis Association Secretary General Ngaba Mkhaliphi says the association is working towards Agenda 2035, which will ensure that by the year 2035, tennis will be professionalized and be amongst the dominating sports in the country. Mkhaliphi mentioned this when speaking to Eswatini TV Sports in Babane.
In an effort to try and grow local tennis, the Eswatini Tennis Association is currently working on an agenda called Agenda 2035, where by then the sport will be professionalized with more sponsors on the side to improve the level of the competition.
Imission yethu weyithi itennis kufuna ukuthi ibe ngumdlalo lo sewudlalwa kakhulu eminyakeni.
The association's Secretary General Ngaba Mkhaliphi says by then in every part of the country there should be young talented stars who are exposed to tennis. Mkhaliphi says with the assistance of sponsors, the sport will be then amongst the dominating one in the country.
At the
moment, the association continues with programs of introducing the sport in the 4 regions of the country where specialized local coaches will be used to assist youngsters in learning more about the sport. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabisum Sonera. Mbabane.
Royal Leopard defender Mzwandile Mabeleza says their CAF Confederations Cup defeat against Algerian side Saoura FC in their first group stages is now water under the bridge, as the focus has been already shifted to their next game against South African giants Orlando Pirates this coming Sunday. Mabeleza says they still have belief that they can progress from their group stage despite the defeat. Leopard lost 2-0 against Saoura in Algeria.
Eswatini CAF envoys Royal Leopard lost their first CAF Confederation Cup Group B encounter against FC Saoura from Algeria by 2-0. Even though it was an away defeat, the players seem to have shifted their focus to their next game, where they'll be facing South African giants Orlando Pirates. Mzwandile Mabeleza, one of the club's key defenders, says they have not lost their faith yet, as they are now gearing up to their next encounter against the Buccaneers this coming Sunday.
Weekend Orlando Pirates focus games to qualify.
Leopard are at the bottom of the Group B without a point. Pirates are the log leaders with 3 points in their 2 games. Leopard will face Pirates this Sunday. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
That's all for now. Before we conclude, let's have a look at our headlining stories. In commemoration of the International Mother Tongue Day, the Deputy Prime Minister says the Siswati language should be preserved at all costs. The World Bank project has donated 5 double cabs and 2 trucks to the Ministry of Health. Young people whose applications did not meet the required standard of Cycle 8 of the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund are undergoing training on drafting business plans. And with that, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. Up next is the weather update. From myself and the team, as always, thank you for staying with us. Good night.